Caner Universe, it's Caner Tip Tuesday. And today, if you're carrying your cane for self-protection, don't do this. And we'll go over a few of those items. But before we do that, as always, a warm welcome to all of you, and especially if you're landing here for the first time. Before you forget, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so that you don't miss any future content. And avail yourself. You have 2 free resources. The most important by far is the no-cost cane clarity call. Text the letter CCC to the number on the screen. In less than 24 hours, we'll be in a conversation, just learning why it is that you're even watching this and what catches your attention, and answering all your questions, so that whether it's a cane or, more importantly, how you're going to get cane trained wherever you are, directly with us, do it the right way, give you the details there. See if that's something that would work for you, but it's going to save you tons of time, funds, and frustration in trying to figure this whole thing out by yourself. Let's jump right into it. How you handle this cane. We often get questions about the cane itself. Hey, if the cane is a particular model and the horn in part, does it call attention to itself? The one thing that calls more attention, and we've tested this over and over, is how you carry your cane. I'm gonna share a couple of things here with you, but the tip should always be touching down. This is a standard grip where the horn, this portion is the horn, this is facing you. Reverse grip is the other way of doing it. Easier to come up here and strike. Either one of those 2 ways, you should be able to, without having to look down, be able to immediately draw. And the law doesn't say, listen, if you don't have an injury, you don't have to fake an injury. We don't recommend you do any of that. You're just walking with it. And the one thing that you're not doing is you're not calling attention to yourself by either walking with it this way or in any other way where the tip is not making contact with the floor. So that's one of the things that you want to be most mindful of. The other one is, even when you're waiting in line and you start getting bored, don't handle it. It's fun. Handling is fun with a cane, or even bringing it up here, horsing around, and you start thinking and moving, and just for anything other than the purpose of, you're walking with that cane, and nobody can come and question you about something that they can't see, an invisible injury, right? That's just not right. There are laws against that. The way that you do want to, one of the things that you do want to do is, if and when trouble is brewing or something's coming up, is how you go from here. And again, this is something that training, this is called choking up. You've heard me say it before. It's the most overlooked physical component of training. Everybody focuses on quote unquote techniques with the cane. And if you're new to this, when you first start moving, getting just the right length for that, any particular application, is going to require the proper choking up. So one recommendation is that if you do feel threatened in any way, shape, or form, try to keep the event or what is threatening to you in your 10 and 2 field of vision. So that's here and here. That just goes with your awareness, because that is going to buy you tons of time. And it's the one thing that if you pick up on it correctly, you can remove yourself from the situation. That's real self-protection. It comes with the awareness. So keeping everything from here to here, and then learning how to track. Tracking means that if it's Bob, and Bob now suddenly moves behind me, I'll have to just quarter pivot so that I can see him here, and my cane at that point can't come up here, or I can have it here. As I'm looking at whatever, see, because from here I can move, right? So I know, I'm aware. The minute you go from here to here, you've cut the distance, especially with shots to the head. Why is that important? Because if they take you out, remember that sick knockout game? If they take you out, they hit the computer, then the rest of the body follows. And then they right? They can do whatever they want with. So the priority, the hierarchy is in protecting the head. So if anything is going distance, keep that distance where you're going to be effective. And if you can't do that, then coming up at least halfway. Now you have to have trained from here, right? Knowing how to move, how to lash out with reverse grips, with power shots in close quarters. Lastly, when you go out, if you're training in public, and I do that all the time when I travel. I love the outdoors, and as part of cane flow, I always recommend take it out there, take it out in nature. But the way you train, the viewer that's seeing it, the last thing you want to give, I'm going to give you an example. And again, there's nothing wrong with what I'm about to demonstrate in the confines of martial arts training at the dojo, but when you do it in public, it opens the eyes of the viewer that cane that you're carrying might be for something other than it's used as a medical aid and or exercise. See, that exercise. But if I'm here doing forms and striking and ki-ing and coming in here and I got to snort, my face is like I'm fighting, which is essentially what you're doing, that calls attention. Now, somebody looks at it and say, well, that's a martial artist, with a cane. The system that you use, for instance, in cane flow, right? If I got a smile on my face and I'm doing this kind of thing, and I'm outdoors, and I'm breathing, whether I'm moving fast or slow, and I'm doing this to music from one side to the other, and I'm walking, but there's nothing in what I'm doing, right, that says that I necessarily am fighting, and especially in the demeanor of having a smile on my face. And yet all the moves that I'm doing train you, if I put it in the context of self-protection, is everything from locking, how to deal with grabs, how to deal when a shot is coming at you here, and I do this, and it looks like a dance. It looks like a dance. Here's my kinesthetic handling. It's not where somebody looks at it and can say, oh, I know this here that he does. Some of you looking and say, well, you wouldn't do that in something. You're right, you don't do it like that. It's what this teaches you, which has to do with trajectory in an ACSD, has to do with the open hand and how you do that. Because this also, if you don't have the cane, you have your fist flow and how to move and how to dance with that. And when you look at it, nobody looks at someone out there doing Tai Chi and gets intimidated by that. And that should be what people see. That's just the ACSD way of doing it. What people see when they see you with your cane. They should look at that and say, that individual is exercising with the cane. That individual is dancing with the cane. Maybe he's a performer. But they shouldn't take a look at you and say, that guy is dangerous with a cane. Right? There's anger there. He's fighting. That's not what they should be picking up on. Listen, it's week number 3. We're entering week number 3 for Cane at Home 6-week challenge. This is challenge number 128. This is the last week to enroll. So those of you that you've been watching, and I really appreciate your loyalty, and you watch every week what we do. But watching these videos gives you an idea, gives you potential, right? It allows you to connect the dots and take a look. But there's a foundational training behind it, and that's what you want to avail yourself of. Text those letters CCC to the number on the screen. Let's have a conversation first. Let's make sure that it's a good fit. Let's make sure that if you have physical limitations or injuries, how it is that our trained coaches can go ahead and circumvent around those injuries. You have to do it. We have to be able to do it for the simple reason that criminals don't care. And if you're in it for the self-protection, that is vital, that's crucial. But a lot of you now coming in to this cane flow for the movement and the brain benefits and better balance and coordination, all these things that come from this unique way of moving with the cane. I'm Joe Robaina for American Cane Self-Defense. Thanks for watching. Keep caning. Stay safe.